All right, what is going on, everybody? This is the long-awaited and long overdue update video for my 2001 4Runner that has a Maaco paint job. So just to provide some context, this is my a little over 2-year update since I got this vehicle painted. Now, this is Army Green. Its paint code 6V7, which is a factory Toyota paint color. Now, I got this car repainted in September of 2021. So it's been a good minute since I've gotten this painted. The original color, like in my previous video, was El Dorado Gold. So as you can see, the door jambs are still the original color. This is what El Dorado Gold looks like. I got this car repainted at about 240,000 miles, and my car currently has 270,000 miles. It just crossed 270. So 2 years, about 30,000 miles worth of driving. So just wanted to share what it looks like. Kind of do an overview. We'll go this way here. All the way around. Here's the front. This color is very unique in the way that, depending on the where the light is shining, it looks very dark. So like on this side, it's very dark. And then once you get more towards the light over here, it starts getting lighter. And if I say, for example, turn on the flashlight, you see what it looks like. It turns very, very light. So this is kind of like showing what it looked like if the sun was hitting it. So very unique color. Disclaimer, even though it's the 6V7 Army Green color is, it's been on multiple Toyota models such as the FJ Cruiser, Tacoma, Tundra, 4Runner, Sequoia, and now I think 2024 probably the RAV4. But I've noticed that when I park this at a dealership next to another Army Green vehicle, the colors seem a bit off. And I'm sure the shade is a little bit off, but yeah, in direct sunlight, it's probably when it's the most accurate. Well, now let's go into how Maaco the paint job has held up after 30,000 miles. So for the most part, this is it's not a single stage. It's a base coat plus a clear coat on top. So essentially there's no fading or anything, no clear coat peeling at all that I can see. On the front bumper, it just came back from rain. There is some like pit marks and stuff. And that's just from normal, road debris. I drive a lot on the freeway. Now, specifically for this 4Runner, the later 0102s, as you can see, there's a fender flares that go over the body panels. Now, these fender flares are there's a weather stripping that goes from here all the way back. So I've gotten a little bit of flack. I've posted this on the 3rd Gen 4Runner Facebook group. Generally, you're supposed to take these off and buy another set of weather stripping from Toyota, like a black one. But in this case, what they did at Maaco was, I'm not sure if they prepped this specific or if they sprayed directly over it, but they didn't pull off the fender or anything, so they just sprayed it right over it. So, I mean, I'm surprised how well this is held up, but it is kind of like peeling up after 30,000 miles. So if I like turn my light on here and I shine on like this part of the fender, as you can see, you can kind of see a little bit of the original paint coming through. So essentially what's happening is the weather stripping is starting to peel up. So weather stripping on each of the fenders. There's also some weather stripping on this piece right here, attaching the front part of the front bumper. That's been lifting up a little bit. See that there? But otherwise, you see it's in my garage. It's always kept in the garage. It doesn't really see that much sunlight. So that probably is why you don't really see a lot of fading or anything. So amazing shape for what it is. Back in January, I got hit. This guy in F-150 hit my mirror with his mirror. So there's some cracking there, but not because of the paint. Paint actually held up. I just bought some paint match touch-up paint, and it matches up pretty well. So OEM 6v7 touch-up paint will pretty much match up almost 100%. So there's little spots like when I first got it painted, like this spot right here, I had to like touch it up. You can kind of see the original come in, and then like little parts like right here, kind of see at the edges right here, the paint's starting to kind of not peel up, but I believe it's because of this weather, the seal right here to the window. You see it's kind of exposed. So, for what it is, I'm really happy. I paid $2,800 for this back in 2021, so I'm not sure what the prices are now, but yeah, it's held up amazing. I would highly recommend. Another disclaimer is that, if you do decide to get a paint job from Maaco, they're all franchise owned. So you kind of have to do some background research on your own. Take your vehicle out, get a quote from them, see what your options are. Depending on the type of paint or the paint code you want to use, like in this case, the Army Green, originally they could not spray this. I said this in my initial video. They could not spray this vehicle in a single stage, which was, I believe, $500 to $600 cheaper based on the quote. They had to spray this base coat with a clear coat on top. But I'm really glad that I went with that option, because having the clear coat on top allows me to, when you do the paint correction, you're able to actually do a real paint correction and, try to make it as shiny as possible. Even though, this is like with one paint correction last year, and you can kind of still see some like orange peel here and there. So it's not perfect by any means, but with a single stage, if you're going to do a paint correction, you're just essentially the paint. My understanding is that the paint and the clear coat are all mixed in. So when you try to polish it, you're just essentially taking layers of paint off. So, and I mean, it's not as, friendly, I guess, to detail, but yeah, I mean, I get compliments all the time, and that wasn't the purpose of getting it painted, because the original paint was really bad. So it's looking great. So if there's any other questions or concerns, I'm gonna be making an update on my 70,000 mile ownership experience. I make one every 10,000 miles. This one's a little bit overdue since the 260. So if there's any questions, you're more than welcome to ask in the comments, and give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much.